So, probably first and foremost, you have the cult of Tesla, which is just awful. Those people are ridiculous. Right behind them are the Apple iPhone users. And I'm sorry if you're an Apple iPhone user. If you don't understand the differences, you really should. I've heard every argument to why Apple is better, and it's just not. It's not. I'm not saying that the other brands are better. I'm saying Apple is worse for multiple reasons, including data privacy. And yes, Samsung has this issue as well as Android. But when it comes to what Apple does to their consumers and planned obsolescence, Apple is by far the worst. And yes, I know Samsung is doing stuff too, but this is the kind of article. I'll let you read that headline there. Apple iPhone 15 will use USB-C and changing over is going to be annoying. We all had to go through that change. Apple users, though, because they were dominated by that product, got spoiled by having to use non-innovative products by Apple over and over. And now that you have to change to a more compliant, more universal thing, it's going to be a pain. And I'm sure it's just this kind of guy. Like, I haven't pulled up here and there's a video running because this article's from September, so it is a little old. I'm catching up on articles. Sorry, guys. But USB-C is better for multiple reasons. Again, this is one of those things I don't have time to get into in this video of why it's better. But what you should know is that we're going to go back to the old way of things used to be, which was good. The one good thing about old phones, which was everybody had a similar charger. Similar. We're talking about the before USB micro. I forget what the connector's called. Sorry, guys, it's been a while. But basically what the Motorola Razr was using, almost every device was using that chunky mini connector, and it just worked for everything. Now, the EU, the European Union, is making this change because Apple's products cause a lot of waste. They just do, because you can't use them over and over again. The products become outdated and there's issues with that. And anybody that says, well, Samsung has the same problem or Android phones, they don't though. Not near the levels that wasted Apple devices had. And then there's the adapter to adapter to adapter issue. Now, we've all suffered the same no headphone jack problem. I don't like that, and that is a mistake these companies are making, but better regulation will fix those things. And this right here is a step in the right direction. I should be able to loan a friend a charger to charge their phone without the phone saying, oh, it doesn't work, or wrong type, or that shouldn't be the case. All these phones are using similar voltages, and there's no reason for them not to. There is none. The only reason that the charging would be different on an iPhone isn't because, oh my God, all the technology they're packing in. Not that at all. It's because they want it to be that way to get you to buy proprietary components. That is all there is to it. If you have an iPhone, here's a challenge for you. Your next phone upgrade, ditch your iPhone. Ditch it. And try Android out for a year. Try that platform out for a year and see what the differences are. And make notes of what you didn't like and what you do like. So far, everybody that I know that has switched from Apple devices over to like a Galaxy device has been exceptionally happy with that device. They've had a few complaints, sure. The user interface is different. They don't like the way some things work. But there are just so many things they enjoy over. And that includes the camera too, because Apple stuff is not that special. And I know there's a whole fleet of people like, I filmed a movie, I did this. And you can do the same thing. You just have to learn how to make a few settings changes, is all. And I understand that you may be in love with the Apple ecosystem, but once you realize how predatory that ecosystem is and how predatory the App Store is, you start to realize that there are better alternatives. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Are you an Apple user that switched over to an Android product and enjoyed it more? What did you not like about that? If you're still using Apple, why are you putting up with the cost and the planned obsolescence? What is it that makes you stick with Apple? I'm asking these kind of rhetorically. I want your answers to them. I do know a lot of the answers are why people stick with Apple products, but I want to hear it from people that are commenting here and kind of aggregate that in. So feel free to comment and let me know. And let's try to keep it peaceable. Let's not get negative with each other. And this isn't an Apple versus Samsung, or I don't want a war. I just want to hear some thoughts on things.